Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pucking Mad podcast. I'm joined by another Solway Sharks player, Lewis Young. Lewis, would you like to introduce yourself, perhaps from the beginning?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Lewis Young. I'm 20 years old. I play for the Solway Sharks. Just a bit about myself. So my first year back in the UK playing. I've played for a couple of years away, so I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. It's great. Let's get straight into it then. We'll talk first about your sort of your personal career, really, because that's the most important thing. I think you're still young. What are your ambitions for your career? What would you like for yourself?
Um, to be honest, in general, I mean a lot of things that I probably set out for myself when I was younger, I've probably done. I think from a young age, my dream was probably to play in Canada, which I was lucky enough to do. But I mean, at the moment, I think obviously try and play at as high level as possible. And as well, just for the Sharks, I'd like to try and win as much as I can. I think as a team that's also got a lot of success behind them, and just to kind of keep that going and win as much as we can. I think that's probably the main goal for me.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, really cool. And obviously, you've spent time abroad, in Canada and Hungary, like two quite different places. How was that experience, like in both cases?
Probably as you said, I mean, both very different. I think for Canada, I mean, everyone out there just kind of eats, sleeps, and breathes hockey, and it's just kind of a way of life out there. And I went to school out there as well, and just kind of seeing the differences of education and stuff for that as well. And I mean, I was in Montreal as well, so there's a language barrier there, and it was really different. But I mean, to go from being here, I think the season before I'd played maybe 18 games, just kind of playing Well, actually, I played seniors as well, so probably the best part of 30 odd games. And to go out there in my first season, I played about 115. It was just non-stop all year, and I mean, it was brilliant. But no, it's definitely a big difference.
For the British kind of ice hockey, what do you feel that we could take from those setups? Like over abroad.
I think they just put so much time and effort into it. I think the model they base it on, they've got kids on the ice kind of every single day and putting plans in place to really kind of develop them as much as they can. For me, when I was in Canada, we had the option to be on ice twice a day. And I mean, we were an independent school, so we were traveling every single weekend into the States, and I think we were playing probably about 4 or 5 games a weekend. I think just in general, just to try and get a bit more backing behind it, to just get the kids on the ice more, just in general would help just to get them on the ice and get them. I mean, the more ice time you get, the better you're going to get. So it's the main thing, really. I think.
Yeah, I could appreciate that definitely. And obviously, with Hungary, like going to play in Hungary is obviously, like you say, there's a language barrier. Obviously, going to Canada as well, but in Hungary, what was that like? Was it as developed in terms of kind of playing time and stuff, or is it a bit not so much?
To be honest, it took me by surprise. I definitely didn't expect the level to be as good as it was. Um, the original plan for me was to probably go back out to Canada. That was the year that kind of hockey was just coming back after COVID properly. And just kind of complications with visas and stuff like that, and how long that was going to take. I was more likely going to have a chance to play in Europe. And when I went out there, it was just the standard was so high. I think, I mean, yet again on the ice every day, there was a lot more gym involved as well, a lot more off ice conditioning, and the games are a lot more spread out. So instead of playing like 4 or 5 games all crammed into the weekend, you're playing a game every weekend and a midweek game. So it was a good setup, and a lot of the boys they spoke English as well, and even a few boys that had played in the same program as I had in Canada. That's kind of how it came about as well. And they get to run my program, managed to get me that opportunity. So I think in general it was very different, but the standard of hockey was very high. And I think in comparison to Canada, I was back to playing in almost an Olympic sized rink as well, which obviously in Canada you're in the small ice pad and it takes a bit getting used to. But I think just in general the overall game there it was really enjoyable for me, and it was a great experience as well living in a different country.
Yeah, that's cool. And what about, I don't want to kind of go on about the dreaded COVID too much because I think everybody's sort of had enough of talking about it. But how did that
Yeah,
change your kind of, how did that affect you? Because obviously being quite young, I imagine
yeah.
period was quite an important period for you, like looking to learn and play.
So the year that COVID hit, we were it was just a strange time in general. To be honest, I was still out in Canada at the time. I'd went back a bit later because of kind of visa problems again, and ended up kind of. I think I was out there for a good couple of months before it kind of hit, and I'm pretty sure we just came back from like a trip in Minnesota, and we were more or less getting ready to go away for another trip, and basically everything get cancelled. We thought it was just going to be a case of kind of 2 weeks, and we're back to playing again. And obviously that wasn't the case. So I was out there just for probably an extra month and a half, just kind of schooling. There wasn't any hockey, no training, or nothing. Just kind of waiting to see what happened, and obviously, and then they said we weren't going to get playing. So I came back. Obviously, I went back out there at the start of the season. At the start of the season, they'd kind of cleared everything, and we probably played about the best part of 8 or 9 games, and then everything just kind of shut down again. I ended up coming home at Christmas time, and just didn't open back up again. So I just stayed home for like kind of the rest of the time and waited to see what would happen. And that's kind of when I ended up going out to Hungary after that.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a horrible period. If I'm honest, I completely empathise with that. I kind of
Yeah,
had to move across Europe as COVID came through as well, so
yeah,
I kind of understood that feeling of
yeah,
trapped in another country. Yeah, that's yeah, it's a shame, but I suppose it's yeah, things you are where you are now as a result. Which
exactly.
yeah, let's talk about the present then. So with Solway, this season, top of the league, playing incredibly well, particularly based on um, like last weekend's kind of results were fantastic. Like,
Yeah,
what do you think? Like, what's the reason for that level of success? You know, it's a very competitive league, but you're like
yeah.
clearly one of the better teams.
I think for us, we've got such a great group of guys. Everyone gets on well. It's probably one. To be honest, it's probably the best kind of dressing room I've played in. And I think just with that, just in general, everyone just kind of come together. I mean, we're playing the right way now. Probably about kind of 5, 10 games in, we probably hit a little bit of a blip, and there's a couple of results where they were a lot tighter than we would have liked. But I think in general, I think even after the Christmas break, we've came back and been playing good hockey. And I think just having that break as well, everyone's kind of recharged and ready to go again. And I think we're just doing the simple things right, and it's paying off well.
It is quite interesting to hear in that respect. Like you had that little dip. Like obviously the last weekend, this will go out obviously this weekend. So like
Yeah,
last weekend's games, you hit double figures. Which is not bad. It's not bad. Like,
yeah.
can we talk about that? Like, what is it? Was it a tactical shift that's clicked? Do you think, or is it just kind of a culmination of months and months of work towards that sort of result?
It probably is. I think just in general, like we've got so much talent in that team that I think the days that it's clicking, we could score all day. It's just there's so much talent, and I think obviously we're very lucky to have that. But no, I think it was just one of the days where I mean we've got a lot of boys that can put the fuck in the net, and the chances are coming our way. And we just played the right way. And at the end of the day, if we're going to do that, we're going to score goals. So we're lucky enough with the result.
Yes, I mean, is there a lot of competition for who can come out top scorer this season, or is it quite friendly and everyone's for the team? Like,
I mean, I don't know about competition. I mean, Scotty and Johnny are right up there now. Obviously, both brilliant players. But it's probably going to be down to one of them two, I think, at this point.
yeah, yeah. Don't want to cause a rift by sort of suggesting there's a no, yeah, it's
I'll
cool.
keep
I
my
think
opinion on that one.
yeah, I think when you have that sort of like amazing kind of group of players, like you say, the goals and the team,
Yeah,
it's all about the team mainly, but yeah, exactly. Uh,
yeah.
Obviously, last season, everything but one cup was won. Like, what were the expectations, do you think, for the team at the beginning of the season, and how has that kind of changed and adapted as we got to that kind of this point? I suppose.
I think off the back of last year, obviously I wasn't there, but I mean I think the kind of mentality stayed the same. I think so it's always a big club that I've always kind of been a successful team, and even playing against them when I was younger as well. They're always a team that you didn't look forward to playing them in that sense. They're always going to be a really good team, and I think that every year they're going and try to win it all, and I think this year's the exact same. I mean, we knew we were going to have a good team, and I think we don't kind of expect any less from ourselves to go out and I think just in general win every period and win every game and kind of end of the season hope to take everything home.
Yeah, that's a really kind of nice mentality I can imagine for a young player to have as well, being in that sort of like winning mentality.
Yeah,
It's like what you said about Solway. It's huge. Like for its,
yeah,
in the NIHL one, it's a huge club, really, a huge
yeah,
team. That sort of level. Yeah, it's great. And on a personal level, are you enjoying it? You're enjoying your time there?
yeah. No, I mean, as I said at the start, it's probably the best dressing room in general that I've played in. A lot of really good guys, a lot of senior guys as well that are always trying to help you and just in general, it probably is the best atmosphere I've been a part of, and I mean the boys that have played there have probably always said the same about it. But no, I think even having the winning mentality as well, where every game you're wanting to go in and play your best, and it's a brilliant place to play, and yeah, I've loved it so far.
Which of the guys has been best or most kind of helpful for you in developing yourself within?
I think in general we've got I mean a lot of senior guys like obviously you've got Struan and Peanut as well in there, and both great guys. I speak to Peanut a lot, so I do, and he's helped me a lot. So I think just in general, got a really good core group of guys in there that there's no cliques in our team. Like everyone speaks to everyone, everyone's always having a laugh, and it's that's important. I think for me as well. Like I love turning up to the rink every week, and that's the main thing for me. And if I'm enjoying my hockey, then obviously I think you tend to play better as well. So no, that's probably one of the main things for me. But no, there's a lot of great guys in that team.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, Struan is like his achievements for the
Yeah,
team like, is amazing. Frankly, I
yeah.
think it's very rare to be able to achieve you kind of what's been achieved there. I mean, like for you as a young player, is that something you hope to emulate, or you hope to kind of see going forward for yourself, like have that sort of
Yeah,
long achievement?
I mean, I've probably said it before. If Solway was the last place I'd play, I'd be happy with that. I mean, it's probably one of the places you'll find a lot of boys go there and probably don't leave, and I mean that speaks volumes of the club. To be honest, I think the players are treated so well, and I mean that's you get guys like Struan and guys playing a big amount of games for them just because how good the atmosphere is about the place. And I mean, I'd say no different for myself. I'd love to play there, and I'm loving playing there now. So no, it's really good.
Um, Obviously, knowing you're a young player, how is the kind of the coaches and things like that with you? Do you get extra training? Or do you get kind of you're thrown in the deep end, like, come on, everyone into things like that?
No, I think I mean we're at the moment just kind of training twice a week. I'm too old for juniors now.
Yeah,
It's, I played my last juniors abroad, but no, I think just in general, I think I mean the coaches have been brilliant with us so far. And we've got a really good competition for spots as well in our team, and it keeps the training sessions good and just in general. I mean, I've worked with Jamie and Martin before, and I mean they've always been great to me, and you know their coaching styles as well. I mean, you look at the success of the club, and that doesn't kind of come from nowhere. So, they've been great to play for.
yeah, it's really cool that. And let's just a last few questions when it comes to kind of a bit more generally in the league and arguably the more controversial topics, I suppose. But Basingstoke Bison have like announced the launch of kind of an academy system. I suppose really they've kind of had informal academies across the
Yeah,
country, really, So it's I
yeah,
suppose making it formal makes it a little bit more I don't know, serious and more direct, I suppose, more focused perhaps. Um, Obviously, spending time abroad in probably more kind of purposeful academy systems, and how do you feel about those? Are you quite keen on seeing more of that, or what do you think?
yeah. No, I think for British hockey in general, I mean, the more you can get kids on the ice, the better. I mean, even probably I look at Solway and you look at the junior setup, and I think if you can get yourself to a point where you've got, you know, a core group of juniors kind of moving through that are going to kind of keep your team running, to even the point where you're losing older players and you're just kind of having younger guys kind of slot in here and there, and you know it's good for the game. It keeps teams strong. It keeps boys battling for positions. I think overall in British hockey, that's what you're looking for. And as I said, the more you can get boys on the ice, the better. I think that's probably where they're kind of lacking in comparison to other countries and just in general the ice time. But you know, if I think with these academy setups, I mean, if you're getting boys on ice kind of most days and getting them playing at different age groups and challenging themselves, you know, it's only going to be good for the game.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think it'd be quite an easy thing to implement, to put into place? Because obviously hockey in the UK, I think it's growing. I
Yeah,
think it's more popular, and I think the standard's improving, obviously. But
yeah.
do you think it's something that can be done widespread, like kind of formal academy systems, or how do you feel about that?
Um, I mean, it's got a long way to go. I think the thing is, I think just the level of players. And I look at also like so when I played in Hungary, you know, boys were coming straight from school straight to the rink, and they were there till 8 o'clock at night every single day. And I think to get that as well, I mean, it's going to be hard, and there's a lot of government funding that would be involved in well. And no, I think overall, I mean, I think they could get there, but there'd have to be a lot of kind of focus put on it. And no, I mean, never say never. I'd love for British hockey to get to that point, where they are having the kind of systems implemented all across the country. I think it'd be good for the sport, and it would also raise the level a lot. But I think there is a lot of work that needs to be done to get to that point. But you do see it improving, so that's the kind of main thing, I think.
Yeah, oh, without doubt. I mean, I think you're right. The improvements massive. You know, even from 5 years ago, you can see where
Yeah,
seems to the sport seems to have a bit more direction over the last sort of
yeah,
like is really cool. And obviously, like with um for you with your career, you still have a good long career ahead of you. Where do you want to see the sport by the time you finish, by the time you retire? Is there something? Is there a particular? Obviously, you know, is there an aim that you would like to see or an outcome for the sport in general?
Um, 'Cause I think just having kind of more opportunity for British players. I mean, I know that the National League now sort of set really high standards, and you know it gives British players still the chance to kind of step up a league as well. But I think, I mean, just for there to be more opportunity, I think. I mean, I know the elite league. I know it's also based on mostly imports, and it's a hard league to make as well. But no, I think just for there to be a lot more opportunity for young Brits, and that'd be probably the main thing for me to look out for.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think it's an investment that would take some time to pay off, perhaps. But
Yeah,
if players can know that they can get through to the elite league, things like that, that's an amazing thing, you know, and
yeah,
it really increases the popularity in the sport, you know. And there's no denying at the moment the elite league needs to be import driven, but I can see no reason why that can't.
yeah. No, definitely. There's so much talent coming through as well. Like I think even when you watch a junior game, there's a few players you'll watch, and the talent level's amazing. And I don't know whether that's just kind of development of like kind of social media and kids seeing different skills and trying them and stuff like that. But I think the UK's got a lot of talent there, and I mean, I think if it probably was more chance for British, you'd probably see less British players moving away and probably deciding to stay home and develop themselves here. But well, I think overall, if they can get to a point where there is more opportunity, then you probably will find a lot more Brits staying home and taking that route.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Lewis, I want to say thank you so much for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, mate.